So this is the moment I've been waiting for, to sketch a copperhead in the US of A. You can see how narrow the head is compared to the American copperhead. So there are two types of copperheads. Copperhead's just a common name. We've got one copperhead in Australia, and we've got another copperhead over in America. The type of art I've chosen to depict the two different types of copperhead is an etching. And with an etching, what you have to do is cover a metal plate with a resist and then scratch into it. I'm scratching into it because what I intend to do is drop it into an etching fluid, and normally this is being acid in the past, but I'm going to use a special mix of copper sulfate and salt. When it's dry, I scratch that away, exposing the bare metal. This is going to be etched away in a chemical process which will leave deep lines inside the metal plate. Okay, so in this takeaway container I have warm water and salt. And now I'm adding some copper sulfate to it. Doing this because it's a bit safer than using acid. And yet it will eat through an aluminium or aluminum plate very quickly. Stirring it with a stick, because the stick's not made of metal and it's not going to erode on me. Now I'm going to drop in the plate, and everywhere I've scratched away it should start eroding straight away. You can sort of see bits flaking off as I hit it with a feather. Feather because again there's no metal in it. Now that didn't take long, it's probably about 10 minutes and it's done. So now I'm going to clean it off with the methylated spirits, because the resist I used was shellac and some Indian ink, so it should come off quite easily. It's an exciting time and scary time. All that work could have been for nothing. It's not looking too bad actually. Looks like a pretty good etch. So I think that has everything in it that I want. Next step, I'm going to use a roulette wheel. And this is now going into engraving techniques. Alright, the roulette wheel. It's not for gambling. It's an old French engraving tool used to imitate chalk or pencil. In fact, the technique was called chalk mannerism. So what I'm doing is I'm rolling over the tiny little dots to make grey tones. And so what I'm going to have to do is pull a proof. What that means is do a test print to see how I'm going. From the test print I can use that as a guide and then continue to add more shade. And with making the test print, what I do is I ink up the plate, I push the ink into the grooves, I clean off the surface ink so all the ink is caught in the little lines that are being etched away. And now I push it through the press. I'm using my adapted pasta press to do this because it's only a small print. And I have myself a proof. So now I can go back to the drawing board, get out the roulette wheel again and work this plate a little bit more. And so now with the piece of art that I'm doing, I've got my print. I'm now going to hand colour the print. frowned upon. However, the disapproval of hand colouring of printmaking is a fairly recent thing. It's fairly modern. Pre-20th century, it's a very common practice, and so I'm quite happy to hand colour. I think it looks great, and so here is my hand-coloured print of both species of copperhead, American and Australian. Oh, and share it with somebody who doesn't like snakes.